Hi, Noah, it's Mrs. Six. Um, so our email is back up finally, thank goodness. So I just got your email about, or sorry, your voice message about uh, not understanding how to do the reflection assignments. So I'm going to go through. I figure this is the easiest way to show you how to do what you're going to need to do for those. So what I do want to show you really quick, first of all, is that this is our pacing guide that kind of shows what assignments are due, when they're due. Um, Back a few weeks ago, I went ahead and actually right near Halloween, I shut down units 1 through 3. However, I left open a few assignments from Unit 3 because you have to do those to complete um, assignments that are later on in the class. So I'm going to show you how they kind of build on each other. So the directions for the discussion board assignments and how to complete those are back in Unit 1.03. So I'm going to show you where that is really quick. So if we go over to content, while you're not able to access 1.03, the actual assignment, it is going to show you how to use or how to do the discussion assignments. So this is what you're looking for. So, oh, sorry, not that. Way wrong. 1.03. But every discussion board assignment or every assignment in our class, every reflection assignment has a video that goes with it that shows you how to complete those. So what you're going to look at is, and if you haven't already looked at this week one journalism overview, you're probably going to want to look at that. But if you go down to 1.03, so this is the very first journal reporter's reflection that you guys were supposed to do for our class. So this tells you specifically how to do the reporter's reflections for the entire class. This is what you're looking at. This is for 1.03, but this is closed. You are no longer able to access that assignment because those are closed out. So if you look at this journalism reader reflection direction, that's going to show you how to go through and do any of the journal reflections that you need to do. Okay. So if we go back to our pacing guide, and I'm going to open up, sorry, I'm going to open up a new one because it'll just be easier. If we go back to that pacing guide, you're going to see that all of these assignments are closed, right? So if you have not done 3.01, so I have your grade book up here. So let's go ahead and look at your grade book really quick. All right, so 3.01 is not complete. So what needs to happen is you're going to need to complete 3.01 first. That's going to be the very first thing that you need to look at. So 3.01 is the beginning of a series of assignments that you have to complete in order. So if we look at the announcements, so this is just the announcements. It's posted every week. It's the very first thing in our classroom. So these assignments are all open right now. So 3.01, 3.03, 04, 4.02, 4.03. Then you come up and you do 4.05, 04, 05, and then 5.08. Okay. So 3.01, 03, 04, 02, and 03, all of these assignments are kind of steps to completing this 4.05. So that 4.05, which it tells you right here, is the first news article that you guys have done in class for me. So to be able to complete this news article, you have to be able to, or you have to have completed all these assignments first, okay? So then once you complete all these, and you're going to go in order, then you're going to complete that 4.05. Once you complete 4.05, then you're going to complete 04 and 05, 5.04 and 5.05. These assignments must be completed before you can complete 5.08, which is kind of where we are now. This is where we're at in class at this very moment, right? So actually, students are working on 5.05 and they're getting ready to start working on 5.08 this week. Okay, so that's where they are in class. So in the pacing guide, you're going to notice that 3.1 is open for you. This quiz is closed because that was part of the Unit 3 assignments that closed. You don't have to have O2 completed to complete that article, right? So 3.03 is one that's open, 3.04 is open. So you are going through and completing all of those, which come down, and that's going to be that 4.05 news article that you're going to eventually need to complete for our class. Then you have a couple more journals, and then you are going to be doing this discussion board assignment. Okay, so like I said, when you go into 1.03 and you watch this video, this is going to tell you very specifically what you need to do. You are able to watch this too if you would like to give you more of an idea. But like I said, this assignment is closed, so you're not able to submit that. The other thing that you want to know is that the journal itself, there's not technically a journal. These are all Word documents that you're opening up. You're opening up a blank Word document and you're creating or writing whatever your response is to each reflection. Know that they're only worth 5 points. So if we look at your grade book, those little reflections are only worth 5 points. So what that means is that you're not going to be spending a ton of time on them. You can bullet your answers, you can answer very briefly, and I explain all of that to you back in that 1.03 in those directions, okay? So go back, look at those videos, make sure that you're kind of on the page where you need to be for like what needs to go into those reflections. And then from there, you're going to pop down to 3.01 because that's the reflection that's going to be open for you to complete. Or sorry, 3.01 is not a reflection, but this is your assignment where you are coming up with a news story that you're going to be writing in 4.05, right? So you want to start here, do this 3.01, then you're going to move to 3.03, then 3.04. I do want to let you know that this 3.01, because you haven't completed it yet, this assignment is a news story like proposal. So basically, the assignment is asking you to pick something local in your community that you would like to write about. This article that you're going to be writing about in 4.05 has to be something that you specifically are writing about, not that you're reading an article from another journalist and rewriting or discussing it. It's an article that you're coming up with. So, for example, let's say you live in a district, a school district, and you have a student in your district who collected a bunch of money for to save animals or something like that. And you know this student, you're like, oh, it'd be cool to write a story about that. So then you're going to interview that student and you're going to interview another person. You have to have 2 interviews. And then you're going to write your own original story about that. In this 3.01, all you're doing is writing a proposal. So that means I think I want to write about a lady or like a student who in my school district has who has raised a lot of money to save animals. So all you have to do for the first part of the proposal. Then the second part of the proposal, you're going to tell me who you think you're going to interview. So you need to have 2 people that you possibly would be able to interview for this article that you're going to write. And then the third part of that is that you're going to have non-human resources. So that means where are you going to look online? Are you going to like go and look at another article that was written? Are you going to look at a blog? Are you going to watch a news story? Are you going to pull graphics, charts, data, anything like that? So that's the non-human sources for this assignment. So once you pull that up, that'll make sense to you. But this is where you're going to want to start because everything else is closed at this point, right? Everything before this is closed. So you're going to want to go here first. You're going to skip this because it's closed. You're going to then go to 3.03 and then 3.04, right? So if you catch up and you get everything done up to 5.08, and you want to go back and look at any of the quizzes or any of the reflections that you have missed, I am not opposed to that, but every available assignment needs to be completed and it has to be completed with a C or higher, or I will not reopen another assignment because you have plenty here to do and to work on um, before you go back and work on things that you're missing. Okay, so start here with 3.01, go back, look at those reflection videos in 1.03. Then you're going to look at this and you're going to do this reporter's reflection, and then you should not have a problem from this point on. They're very brief. Do not overthink them. Okay. So if you have any other questions, please let me